So, we just finished watching Jon Dies at the End.
Jon Dies, which is a Don Coscarelli movie.
Yep.
Which is the main reason why we've actually
from the maker of the Phantasm quadrilogy.
Quadrilogy, as you would call them now, as Alien is redefined.
that film, Jon Dies at the End. That film just blows my mind. It is brilliant. I fully enjoyed it.
It is just such a zany movie. It's it completely changes your expectations of what you're going to see.
Yeah.
Simply through the hallucinations that the characters experience and go through.
Are they hallucinations?
Or are they?
Now, without turning your head, look at the box.
It is an absolute roller coaster, and you're just taken from scene to scene. Random things are happening. You do not know what's going to happen next in each scene. It is so utterly random and crazy and reality defying. It's a lot of fun.
A simple rundown of the film is you've got two guys, Dave and John, who have been friends for a while, and childhood friends, I'm guessing, and John is in a band, and Dave just happens to go see him one evening, and they come across this soy sauce, as it's called, which they end up inadvertently being injected by, or being chosen by, depending on how you see it from the film, which allows them to perceive or see things that aren't entirely there.
You're in the 1 Ball parking lot, right? Just pass around a joint. That Jamaican guy just pulls out this sauce. He goes, "It be opening doors to other worlds, man."
But that's one of the great strengths of the film, though, is that it takes some of those ideas, of why are we here, why we're alive, and it questions your destiny and how you can how you believe you're in control of your own destiny, and the film questions the fact that perhaps all of the decisions you will ever make have already been made for you, and you are just going through the experience. And then as soon as the film starts to explore those concepts and ideas, it just takes you straight back out there and throws you straight back into silly mode.
Yeah, it just it balances so well on the here's science and religion and here's everything that you know, but now here's the other side of what you never actually seen from the side that you don't want to know, but this is actually what might actually exist.
Yeah, it feels like there's two sides to it, where there's the serious, the theological, the psychological. It asks a lot of questions, doesn't give you answers. It asks a lot of questions and lets you figure it out for yourself, and you have your own opinions. I mean, we all viewed it in a different way probably, and we've spoke about this. I find it a bit harder to understand.
The film might take a few viewings just to... I'd say each viewing actually enhances your appreciation of how well tied together the film is as a whole. Yeah. Even though there are perhaps holes in the narrative, there's still you're left with enough to be able to fill those with your own imagination or your own ideas and thoughts or beliefs. Even though the film doesn't require you to do so, you can invest into it as much as you want to. Yes. And the film will play with you for doing so. Yeah. Which that's I find really unique.
Yeah, it's spot on. It asks a lot of questions and it makes you fill in the answers. It doesn't give you all the answers, it gives you clues, but it doesn't give you definitive answers.
Well, and even if you are not someone per se who wonders about these things, it doesn't insult anybody's intelligence. It doesn't require you to understand quantum physics or time travel or parallel worlds or alien races. If you've not watched Star Trek or any of those things or understand the technobabble, the film won't insult you. It will have fun with you as well, because you'll be there going, don't get it.
Don't get it. Don't get it.
But it doesn't require you to get it either.
No, if you don't invest into it, you can gloss over those areas. And the comedy in it, I mean, the comedy's top notch. There's bits that have made me laugh to myself when I'm watching a film by myself, and it's very rare these days I'll find a film that I actually laugh out loud to.
It is
by myself.
It is such an original film as well, so kudos to it for even existing, because we're in a world where we get so many found footage movies, prequels and sequels and reinterpretations, and so to have this film try and explore all these things whilst having this bizarre narrative and having zany characters, it's so refreshing to experience.
From the opening scene, from just that shot where the camera's coming across the snow and you see Dave, the main guy, and the question about the axe, that sets the tone for the film, I think. You know,
Solving the following riddle will reveal the awful secret behind the universe, assuming you do not go utterly mad in the attempt.
if you don't even get the question, there's no point watching the rest of the film. But if you think,
I wouldn't say that.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't say, you perceive it in your own way, you know, soy sauce and all that kind of thing. But you have to. You're not going to be able. You're not going to know this film unless you know the outside story of the film. You know, Don Coscarelli. If you follow Phantasm and you've seen any of those films, Bubba Hotep. You might have heard of this film and waited for it to come out. You might have seen the comic books online and been like, oh, well, I want to see it. Actually, Phantasm 1, you know, it's, well, some people would consider it a horror, other people would consider it a science invasion movie. It is more of a mismatch of a story. And as you go through Phantasm 2, 3 and 4, you still kind of sit there going, what the hell is going on? I like the little silver balls and the midgets, and Angus Scrim, you know, the tall man. It's just such a scary figure. He's in John Must Die as well, only for a small part, but you still sit there, look at him, and all you hear is, boy!
Hello? You still there?
Yes, son, I am. Just keep calm, okay? Nothing you're seeing is real.
I could feel it. That strange, venomous warmth spreading through my thigh. Look, I appreciate your time, but I'm starting to think that there's nothing you can do to help me.
Son, I'm going to be honest with you. We both know you're fucked.
And then next minute they tell you something else and you go, oh, shit. I didn't even realise that. And just, I mean, the fight sequence in the police station, that I was laughing. I was trying not to laugh too loud, but it was just so funny. Massive Evil Dead nod, would say, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, trying not to give it too much away.
There is that bizarre twist though, where you did not see that coming in a million years. I could not have imagined that.
The film could pull any stunt or any maneuver or trick, but because you're already hooked on the story and the characters at that point, no matter what was happening on screen, you believed in that world. That world was created for you, pretty much in the opening sequence.
Yeah.
And I think if you got past maybe the 10-minute mark, where there's where the special effects really you really get to see the budget, and it enters that B-movie world where they're on their first case in the film. And they're helping this girl who's asked for their help.
So where do you see him mostly?
In the basement. And once in the bathroom, when I was on the toilet, he stuck his hand through the seam.
Okay, just show us the basement door.
It's that way.
And of course, when they get there, the freezer doors burst open and all the meat chunks come flying out.
Yeah.
And they start putting themselves together like the T-1000. You know, they're building up this massive monster with a big chicken head. If you see the humour in that, and see that they're playing this for laughs with the setup where when it starts to talk and it declares them their arch nemesis.
We're not your nemesis. Oh, this is the phone call itself, and you're waiting for something to happen, and then all of a sudden, wow,
So
bang, and then you're like, what the fuck just just happened?
And then the film carries on.
Did
that happen?
The actor that plays Marconi is fantastic
Yeah,
in this.
yeah.
He comes out with some real catchphrases. He's a real good actor. And can I just say that Paul Giamatti was my favourite person in that cast.
Absolutely. He was there from the start of the film. He's having the story told to him like we are as an audience.
Yeah.
He kind of takes that role as well.
I feel like the film started when he was introduced with Dave.
I'm not farting around. You have 83 cents in your front pocket, Arnie. 3 quarters, a nickel, 3 pennies. The pennies are dated 1983, 1993, and 1999.
At the same time, I mean, you'd say Paul Giamatti in it is probably the biggest name they've got in the
Well, they had Clancy Brown, who was the
Marconi.
Marconi.
But then obviously he's not
He's not
as
that
well known.
He's not as well known, but he has appeared in
The
several
Kurgan,
cult things.
the
He's the
Highlander,
Kurgan from Highlander.
From Starship Troopers.
He's the Sarge from Starship Troopers.
Put your hand on that wall! The enemy cannot push a button if you disable his hand. Medic!
And he was the demonic priest in Carnival TV series.
Yeah.
So he naturally plays these bad roles. But he was actually playing a good guy. Or was he?
Or was he?
Was he just another master manipulator?
Marconi. He will help his fellow man to find a path into the light. Marconi.
Very big credit to the acting. Even the two unknowns, the main leads, John and Dave. I've never seen them in anything before, but they worked. Their chemistry worked.
Yeah.
Their acting worked, and I'd say the main character was probably Dave, because he was pretty much he was the one who opened the film.
He was the storyteller as well.
Yeah.
He was the storyteller.
John was
and all of his
funnier.
mannerisms and his facial tweaks, just everything. It just you believed that he was hallucinating or he was brain frazzled.
Well, you follow him as he finds out about the soy sauce, so you're learning with him, and that creates some sort of connection between you and the character, which works really well.
I'm afraid, there are a lot of good moments, I think, in that whole film.
Tell us your pinnacle favourite scene of the movie.
Oh, it's really hard. It's really hard to. I mean, it's still fresh in my head, but I mean, not giving too much away, but the scene with the hot dog.
All the scenes with
the hot dog. That was brilliant.
One. Okay, I have the bratwurst.
Put it up to your head.
Gonna have to ask you why, John.
I have to show you something. Dave, can you hear me?
All right, I get it. Okay,
try not to give too much away to the people who you have to see it. I mean, the animated bit. You know, I've seen a lot of animation in my time, but that one scene just made me sit there.
That animated sequence is actually my favourite part of the movie. It actually made me clap because it was it wasn't just the animated scene; it was the whole build up to it.
Yeah.
To process the magnanimity that is Korak, for your simpler mind, we have translated the following images into a format that we think that you will find more familiar. I believe in your world they're called cartoons.
You have to say the Holy Bible as well. You know, that for me is an iconic weapon now, firmly in my head, along with the chainsaw from Evil Dead and the 4-barreled shotgun from Phantasm. If I could get buried, I would have those 3 weapons with me, just so I can use them if anything tries to get me from another universe. Perceiving, you know.